When the chubby guy awakened his talent for the first time, he pulled out his phone and asked others to call him Dad. Surprisingly, someone did call him that in the class group chat because he had awakened the Wishbook talent. By making a wish to the Lord of Wishes, any desire could come true. But with my arrival, everything he has will become mine. It turns out my awakened talent is upgrade and plunder. By killing a target, I can acquire their talent. In the past, I discovered by accident that I could plunder a person's talent without relying on my ability to kill. My stubborn brother did not agree with my method, which led to him being framed and killed by a beast. Though he sacrificed his life to give me a chance to survive, I soon followed in his footsteps. When I woke up again, I found myself reborn on the day of talent awakening. I remembered that when the stone tablet descended from the sky, the era of talent awakening began. S-level talent awakeners possessed the substitute talent. In this era, those with evil in their hearts are no longer restrained. Thus, being weak is the greatest sin. In this new life, I will make those who are evil my stepping stones to becoming invincible. My first target is the supervisor who bullied me, Wang Jichao. After he awakened, he became a demon, forcing people into prostitution and harvesting organs for upgrade resources. At that time, I impulsively beat him up, resulting in a 10-day detention, missing the crucial period for awakening and upgrading. My situation only improved when my brother, who raised me through theft, was released from prison and kept me by his side with his A-level talent. I bought various tools from the hardware store and waited quietly in the bathroom for the awakening to arrive. Soon, my plundering talent awakened as expected. Coupled with my memories from the past life, I was sure I could upgrade my talent to the highest level quickly. Soon after, I had the opportunity to take revenge on Wang Jichao. Without hesitation, I looped a rope around his neck. Even though his substitute talent healed him instantly, it couldn't save him from the brink of death. As the rope tightened, Wang Jichao lost his life. After completing this task, I breathed a sigh of relief, and my plundering talent jumped from F level to E level. I eagerly summoned my substitute, which turned out to be the top-level melee substitute, Black Emperor. Not only did it have maxed out strength, agility, and vitality, but it could also randomly steal 1/5 of the enemy's attributes when dealing damage. The only drawback was that it had zero intelligence and needed the host to control it mentally. After Black Emperor disposed of Wang Jichao's body, I wasn't worried about the murder being discovered. By the time the investigation reached me, I would already be invincible. On my way back, I checked the chat history in the group and found that the fat guy Lu Ming had awakened his Wishbook talent. In the previous life, after his awakening, he had a fling with the class beauty Fang Mengqiu and used unknown means to harm many girls, eventually joining the criminal organization Smiling Coffin. At that moment, in a certain hotel, Lu Ming was not satisfied with people calling him Dad. He wished upon the Wishbook to get Fang Mengqiu's body and heart. As soon as he spoke, the Lord of Wishes responded, "Master, your wish has been granted." Lu Ming immediately began to test it out, making Fang Mengqiu obey his every command, exclaiming in excitement, "The Lord of Wishes is so powerful." I called Lu Ming and said I had a secret about an S-level substitute to share and needed to meet in person. Perhaps feeling overconfident from gaining the goddess's favor, Lu Ming gave me his address without hesitation. As soon as I hung up, he smirked evilly, planning to get the S-level secret and then the goddess. The timing was perfect. Not long after, I entered the room. Lu Ming eagerly asked about the secret, to which I leaned in and whispered 4 words, "Fool, you're too naive." At that moment, Black Emperor silently appeared and struck before Lu Ming could react, smashing him against the wall. Seeing Lu Ming dead, I skillfully activated my plundering skill. As the Wishbook became my talent, its powerful attributes and effects were apparent. On my command, a figure appeared before me, "My great master, the Lord of Wishes, at your service." I hadn't expected the Lord of Wishes to communicate with me. It turns out the Lord of Wishes is a functional substitute, theoretically capable of fulfilling any wish, with the extent of the fulfillment depending on the difficulty. For instance, winning the lottery consumes less energy than conjuring a bottle of water. If used on humans, it depends on the target's willpower and strength. I then asked the Lord of Wishes how much energy it would take to release my brother from the detention center. The Lord of Wishes responded that it would consume all its energy and leave it in a dormant state, so it could only speed up the release process. It seems wishes need to be logical. Currently, the best use for the Lord of Wishes is gathering information on other S-level strong individuals. Meanwhile, Black Emperor had finished disposing of Lu Ming's body, and I noticed a strange clock on its chest. I asked the Lord of Wishes about this, and it replied that it was related to the host's own power. With no clues, I decided to focus on strengthening my substitute. Only by becoming powerful can I solve any mysteries. Leaving the room, I saw Fang Mengqiu nearby, cursing, "Why did I send so many disgusting messages to that fat guy and come to this place?" Meanwhile, in a certain building, Yu Taijia, who had awakened the 3S level talent Time King, asked his substitute why the time of the transfer was delayed by 2.5 weeks. After all, the Stone King's energy was exhausted to initiate the time travel. If not for encountering the illogical entity Despairing Ancestor in the Space Rift, he, the Guardian of China, could not have survived. Thinking about it, Yu Taijia angrily slammed the table, and the Time King explained that part of its power was taken by an unknown entity during the time travel. The lost power could be felt somewhere nearby. Hearing this, Yu Taijia decided to first gather strength before seeking out the thief. At the dungeon entrance, The safety officer was emphasizing the dangers. Although everyone was eager, no one dared to be the first to enter. Without hesitation, I stepped into the portal. Those dungeons I once feared. Now I would trample them all. As the system dataized my body, I faced the choice of 6 basic professions. In the previous life, I chose warrior, but it was mediocre before the second transfer. I summoned the Lord of Wishes and asked for its recommendation. It suggested the mage because at level 20, the S-level talent guiding star could be transferred to the hidden profession, Prophet Mage. Black Emperor could perfectly compensate for the mage's melee weaknesses. It seems S-level talents can indeed transfer to hidden professions. However, I had my suspicions. If I chose the mage and second transferred the plunder talent as the guiding star, what hidden profession would I get? The Lord of Wishes replied it would become a jack of all trades, master of none melee mage. Though its suggestion was good, my main talent is plunder, and Black Emperor's dual attributes were maxed out. Therefore, choosing agility as a base profession seemed more suitable. I then asked, if I chose assassin, what profession would I transfer to? The Lord of Wishes hesitated and said most likely an outlaw, which would maximize plunder's advantages. Despite its suggestion, I had already made up my mind. Sorry, I choose assassin. Shortly after, the various attributes of the assassin were infused into my body, along with 5 skills: Shadow Hunt, Phantom Strike, Agility, Quick Reaction, and Power Strike, and a Novice Dagger. Indeed, the assassin and Black Emperor were the best combo. After the transfer, the system prompted me to choose the dungeon difficulty. Without hesitation, I selected Nightmare. As soon as I was transported into the dungeon space, countless red-eyed goblins greeted me. With a wave, I summoned Black Emperor and added the Battle Heart skill. On my command, Black Emperor started charging and unleashed a flurry of punches, taking down all the goblins in the vicinity. After defeating 15 goblins, my level rose to 6. Since the assassin's weapon could stack up, and agility would convert to attack power after the second transfer, I allocated my free attribute points to agility and quickness. With Black Emperor sweeping through the dungeon, I soon arrived at the hall where the final boss, the Goblin King, was. Although the goblins were numerous, they were no match for Black Emperor. A large goblin attacked me, but thinking about the human NPCs it bullied, I was furious. Crush them, Black Emperor. As the big goblin was knocked back, the goblin shamans cast their spells. With quickness and Black Emperor's protection, these attacks couldn't harm me. Amidst the explosions, Black Emperor's ghostly punches eliminated the goblin shamans instantly. With all the minions cleared, it was the Goblin King's turn. I thought it might put up a fight, but it was knocked out with one punch from Black Emperor. I couldn't help but laugh. It was too weak. Its death brought my level to 9. With the luck blessing, my luck increased tenfold, and I found a golden treasure chest. In the lowest level dungeon, even clearing nightmare difficulty should only yield a black iron chest. However, the rewards depend on the battle damage, time, and other factors. Excited, I prepared to open the chest, curious about the loot. I found a high-level black iron healing potion and a series of trash items. Luckily, 2 golden items appeared. I examined the attributes of the Guardian Dagger, which had 60 attack points and a 10-second bleeding effect, making it a perfect early-game weapon. The Guardian Light Armor reduced weapon damage, another invaluable item. The system then prompted me to name my game character. Without hesitation, I named it Black Emperor. Instantly, a global announcement popped up. Congratulations to player Black Emperor for being the first to clear the Nightmare Dungeon. Reward: Fate Wheel 10 consecutive draws ticket. Utaijia noticed this announcement, recalling that in the previous life, a player named Little White Manga appeared late at night. He asked the Time King if time travel could alter history. Receiving a negative answer, Utaijia pondered if Black Emperor had stolen the Stone King's power, growing stronger and clearing the dungeon. Or perhaps future Black Emperor had taken the Stone King's power and traveled back. The Time King was equally puzzled since its power couldn't boost strength. Utaijia's face darkened, deciding to find the person soon. Immersed in joy, I summoned the Lord of Wishes, ready for its performance. The Lord of Wishes appeared, eager to serve. Analyze the best wish to make, I asked. The Lord of Wishes explained that the Fate Wheel randomly drew items ranging from S to 3S levels, with higher level items being rarer. Despite tenfold luck, there was no guarantee of obtaining an S level item. I then asked if I used its power to wish. The Lord of Wishes said acquiring a specific 3S item would put it to sleep for 6 months, while S-level items cost 10 to 100 points of energy. Not wanting to hinder my ability to plunder talents, I wished for an S-level or higher item. With a flash of golden light, the Lord of Wishes announced, "Your wish has been granted." I spun the Fate Wheel. When the pointer stopped, the items appeared. A Binding Crystal to extend the substitute's range and a Limit Crystal to increase its energy, plus a Rage Crystal to boost strength temporarily. Unfortunately, the Limit Crystal was 2S. I gave 2 Binding Crystals to Black Emperor, increasing its range significantly. I also crushed 2 Real Crystals, gaining 4% of the dungeon's attributes. The Life Crystal and Rage Crystal could be taken outside. I wondered who to use the Life Crystal on. The Lord of Wishes suggested itself, saying it would alleviate energy concerns. As the Lord of Wishes consumed the crystal, its energy limit and recovery rate doubled. However, Real Crystals were scarce, allowing only 4% attribute transfer, and without Space Crystals, equipment couldn't be taken out. I decided to focus on the Tower of Babel to secure global achievements. Reaching the destination, I heard discussions about the highest floor reached being the 8th, with each 10 floors granting a lottery ticket. A girl approached, asking to team up. I walked away, knowing that women would only hinder my blade.